Today's podcast is with Giancarlo, the owner of Smart Spaces. Come to find out, his office is located right next door to our offices. And I sit down and learn what his company is doing. Number one, they're actually making water out of the thin blue air. And it's not just normal water, it's better than bottled water. Find out why. And number two, home automation. Smart Spaces is actually automating making smart homes here in Los Cabos. And he actually shared a very interesting fact that I think you're going to find interesting. Take a listen. So when you were talking about Jacob, you've known Jacob for those 3 years?
Yeah, mostly 3 years, or 4 years.
And aside from that project, you actually were doing, since then, you've been doing other stuff with him in terms of projects, or just keeping in touch as friends?
Just keeping in touch as friends, and yeah, just like from one time to another, we talk. Hey, how are you doing? Fine, that's it.
You know, it was a couple of weeks ago that Jacob told me about you and your business.
Okay.
And he said, Nick, this business takes the water in the air and makes it drinkable water. I said, is it Smart Spaces by our office? He said, yes.
Yeah.
He's a friend of mine. He should be on the podcast, and that's where we are today. So,
thank you, Jacob.
So thanks for coming, Giancarlo. And your company is Smart Spaces.
Yes.
And I understand there are a couple things that you guys do at Smart Spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Number one is the water.
Yes.
And number two is home automation.
Yep.
And why don't we start with the water? Because that's what started us
Sure.
with me and Jacob.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you, Nick. I may say it's incredible what you're doing. I really like people that is trying to empower our destiny and our local businesses.
Yeah, thanks.
Because we have a lot to share, right? Like here in Cabo, and I'm really glad to be here, and congratulations for your work being done until now. Okay, so the water. I'll try to do the small version, you know.
Right.
But 5 years ago or 6 years ago, one friend of mine, which was called Ramon Ojeda, he passed right now. Okay, he's not with us anymore. So he arrived to my store right by Ronival, you know, and he said, "Hey, Giancarlo, you need to find something to solve the water situation here in Cabo." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, like challenge accept, you know." Like no idea, like what am I doing, you know? So I started the research. I started making some calls and stuff with all of my providers and all of the people that I know in the technological part, you know. Mm-hmm. And then I got into this idea of the condensation, of condensing the water from the air, you know. And at the start, it was kind of hard to believe, you know, because we're in a desert, you know, and it was like, maybe you can condensate the water in a tropical forest or something like that, but here in Cabo in a desert, I don't know, that was a challenge, you know. But I started making all my research, and it looked stable, you know, it looked something real. So the journey started. And then I started investing, me and my family, actually, we started investing in these machines and bringing them, going all around the world to seek for the major producers of these machines. Actually, it's our machines. I'm going to talk how they work. But right now, I can say that we know maybe not the 100% of them, but 99.9% of the producers of these machines, we know them. We have invested in them and buy some machines and bring them and see how do they work, if they need maintenance or if they need parts or if they need a lot of things, you know, because it is something really brand new. So right now we have selected a few brand names in which we are residing on to provide these solutions, okay? But the important part here is not to think about like a machine, like if you will buy your iPhone, for example,
right.
But there is no carriers, there is no Telmex that gives you internet or Starlink or whoever.
It's useless.
It's useless for you, exactly. It's just a nice, expensive camera,
right?
You know, you need a lot of things surrounding them,
right,
so that they work. It's exactly the same with this, okay? You can buy kind of a condensator. I mean, all the air conditionings condensate water.
It's true.
Have you seen them?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like they start dropping.
Yep.
So it's not the matter of creating the condensation. It's matter of creating the water usable.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you couldn't drink the water from an air conditioning unit.
No, it's full of contaminants and microbes and viruses and all those that is in the air that we're used to breathe, but condensated.
Oh, so really bad.
So it's a great shot, you know. So the idea of these machines actually, in the science, how they work is they pull the air. Okay, in the air there is always water. There is always moisture. Okay, the atmosphere actually is part created of water. Actually, in the moment that we don't have atmosphere, then we won't be able to take water. But if we have atmosphere, there is water to take. Okay, so the machines suck the air. Okay, they pass it through a cold surface. And just like if you put a glass of water with ice inside of it, you know, and then you put a napkin below it, what will happen to the napkin?
It gets wet.
Yeah, exactly. You know why? Because the surface of the water of the glass will get so cold that it will condensate the water that is surrounding it.
Got it.
So if you ask me, hey, will it work here in my house? Do that test. You know, if your napkin gets wet, then it will work. So basically, it works worldwide. You know, even in the worst.
The Sahara Desert.
Yeah, there are machines working right now in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, and then once the water is captured, we start in a it depends from 13 to 15 stage filtration system. Okay, with ultraviolet lamp, with reverse osmosis, with carbon filters, and a lot of different filters to make the water drinkable. Okay, ready for drinking. And at the end, once we have kind of the purest water with no solid particles inside of it, then we have the minerals that our body needs. Okay.
Yep.
And then you are drinking high pH, kind of alkaline water with minerals on it. So with ions of minerals on it, and for the lowest cost. Like once you have your return of investment, each liter you will be paying for 1 liter like that, mostly 40 cents of peso in the electrical consumption.
Okay, because the water is free. It's just the energy that you have to spend to run the machine.
Yep, exactly.
How big are these machines?
The smaller one can fit in this table, like this, and it will create like 8 liters a day.
So it's like this tall.
Yeah, something like this.
And then how wide?
Like this. Okay, that's the smaller one.
Like a cube.
Like a microwave.
Okay.
You know, micro oven.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And then it does this whole process in this cube, and then the water goes into like where?
That's the smallest model. Just keeps the water inside of it.
And then there's like a button that you push and it
hot and cold.
Oh wow.
And then you have ready to go water, you know.
How many liters would the
that
smallest?
Will create between 6 and 15 liters a day, something like that, 8 liters a day, you know. But I really don't recommend that because it is enough only for one person, but for two maybe it usually runs out of water.
Okay.
You know. So I always recommend the next one, which creates from 15 to 30, and it's mostly like a water dispenser, you know, like the one that you pull the big bottle, the big blue bottle, and on top of it. It's exactly the same size, but without the bottle.
Okay.
Okay, and it has exactly the same fillers, so you can go hot and cold.
Okay.
And then you just pull it in. You just put it into your living room or your kitchen or whatever, and then you have water.
15 to 30. How fast does it produce like a liter?
Each day.
Each day it will replenish the reservoir.
Yes. So you will have one of these big bottles a day.
Okay.
Probably.
And the big blue garrafones in Spanish, how many liters are those? 20. So it actually will do 1.5 times that.
Yep. Probably.
And in a family, that's more than enough.
Yes, more than enough. We usually calculate this machine for up to 6 to 8 people in a space. Okay. and that's how they and it's enough water for you to cook and for you to drink and for the coffee and for the tea and for all those, even for the ice, so that you start drinking great ice, because that's something that no one asks. Where are the ice coming from?
Right.
Like, is that really purified water?
Toilet water.
Yeah, like seriously, like check your eyes. It's like it's something that you never ask and you never question, just because of
you think it's clean.
Yeah, exactly. And it's scary. If all of your eyes are not clean, then what are you doing?
No.
Drinking hot hot cubas? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right. So
wow. And what would a unit like this cost? The second one that you mentioned.
And they start in 6K.
Okay.
6K plus taxes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And something that we have some customers right now in here in Cabo that they decided to take it out of the house, put it in the service aisles, okay, and then piping the water into different areas to the house.
Oh. So
right now we have pot fillers with this water. We have hydration stations in the main entrance.
Right.
We have in the kind of when you go out the stairs, in these big houses, between all the rooms, there is one so that everyone can go and pull the water from it, chilled water.
Yeah.
And so to make this shift of mind of how you drink water.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the break even. $6,000 for a unit.
Yes.
And it's producing upwards of 30 liters, which is 1.5 of those big water jugs.
Yes.
Right? What does a water jug cost?
30 to 40 pesos.
Okay.
But you can't compare or make that comparison. You know why? Because that water has zero minerals, zero characteristics, has plastic, has chlorine, has a lot of different harmful things inside of it. Yep. So if you want to compare with a similar quality, you should be comparing against a
bottled water,
Fiji, something, maybe not even the bottled water, because the bottled water has microplastics, BPAs, and those are also toxins that you don't want in your body. So some glass water like Evian, which is 80 pesos the liter, then you have a return of investment, because you will start drinking that type of water.
Well, in my house, we have a filter.
Yes.
So we take the city water and then we run it through the filters. Yes. And I know it cost around $2,000 or something to get the equipment installed. Yes. And then every year we're paying $500-$600 every year for the filters. So this is more expensive.
Yes.
But you don't have to change filter. Oh, you do have to change filters.
You do have to change filter, but it's not 500. It's like 200 approximately a year. But the thing here is that in the case of the municipality stores, you need them to provide the water. That's the first thing.
This is just in the air.
You don't need anyone. Right. Like it's to be free. It's the real freedom. Like we don't need them anymore. Yeah.
Well, I had Francisco with Innovation Solar, the solar panels.
Yes.
On the podcast last week, and he was talking about the whole idea of having your battery packs, the solar panels, and just being free.
Yes.
And not relying on the system.
In the water.
And then you could do the water.
And now in the water. And now then with the same waters problems that they asked me to solve, we found another technology that actually gets all your wastewater and then makes it again like drinkable.
What?
Yep. Like your wastewater makes it drinkable.
Are you using this yet?
Yes, but I'm not drinking the water. I have a better water, But no, you can. Like no one is drinking it again, but it's taking it again to a clear water that accomplish all of the standards that needs to be met, so that you can water or wash or take a shower and stuff,
You already have these systems in place?
Not here in Cabo, not yet. We have the first demo coming maybe in a few months.
I was talking to a developer here in Cabo at a seminar, and they have some system from Germany that for the whole community, they're doing that.
Okay.
And I was like, Oh my God. Like, really?
Yes.
I mean, it sounds amazing.
It's possible.
It sounds pretty
100%.
gross though, too.
Yes, that's the problem, that but it's not it's not new.
Right.
This is there are big plans like this in the country here in Mexico that they are working right now. That they are taking the wastewater, the black water with a lot of things on it, and then taking it back to be clear and make this be the supply again. So it's not something so new. It's something that has been done a long time ago. It's just that we don't know. And going back just to the municipality source, the other problem that you will have in case you have the water and stuff supply is that all the water that comes from the municipality will always be polluted.
Yeah, there's always
Like-
stuff in it.
Yes, like I have customers here in Cabo that even though their filtration system is brand new, like the first 3 months or something, you make some chemical tests,
Yeah.
and there are coliforms, and there are like a lot of different things inside of the water that people is not used to measure. We are not used to make a chemical analysis to our water because we say like, I'm fine, I'm not getting,
I'm not sick.
yeah, I'm not sick. Yeah, I know we're not sick, but
Well,
if there's
could-
another option,
well, sometimes it's years or decades of consuming bad water
Yes.
that you start developing diseases or physical ailments, and
Yes.
you don't know why.
Yes, exactly. And that's another. I don't know how to say yeah, kidney stones.
Right.
There if you see kind of all the statistics, like from 30 or 40 years ago to now, like the statistics is like a craziness,
Right.
And the only difference between then and now is kind of the water source. Like even though it's from the same municipality, all of our the water that is in our subsoil and stuff, it's more polluted, and it's more with plastics, and it has more saltiness, and like I just went to some in the East Cape, and I was showering, and I have this bad habit of opening my mouth in the shower,
Yeah.
But I get used to taste water. So I opened my mouth in the shower, and come on, it was so salty.
Really?
Yeah.
In the shower.
In the shower. It was salty. Like if I was just dropping water in the pipe, and then drinking it. It was like, come on. Like people is washing with this,
Yeah.
And then now you want to filter that,
Yeah. So that's the water business.
Yes, that's water business.
But you also do home automation, and that was what you were doing prior to
Yes.
the water business?
Yes, actually, from the home automation perspective, we've been in the market for almost 40 years. Okay, that's a familiar business. We have worked in the best hotels here in Cabo and around Mexico. From the lighting perspective, the control, the lighting control, audio, video, and a lot of different systems that we install and that we integrate, right? And the last years, actually from the pandemic, during the pandemic, actually, it was kind of a boom because a lot of people started to move, like to move here in Cabo.
Right.
And a lot of them are used to high-level luxury smart homes, So they arrive here and they say like, hey, how can I... Do I really need to pull my my rollers, my blinds? Is there any button that I can...
Or on my phone?
Or my phone, or hey Alexa, turn on... Hey Alexa?
Where's
There's no Alexa? Yeah, there is no Alexa in my house. Come on, I just paid $5 million,
Right.
So that's the idea. That's what we have been working on for the last 40 years. I can say that even some of my customers have said that Smart Spaces is the best in Cabo for a lot of different characteristics. Even the times that that my team work on, they start pulling wires, and even though the time frame was maybe 2 weeks, we end up in 2 days. 2 or 3 days, and it's like, well, like my team is incredible, my supervisors are incredible, the systems that we integrate are incredible. I have a programming team, one of the biggest. We have almost 5 programmers. Okay, the standard is like 1 or 2 programmers. So I have like maybe 5 times,
Right.
of one of my competitors.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the idea is to keep enhancing the destiny, We have really high quality luxury homes, but they still need to walk through each room to turn off the lights.
Yeah.
And I have actually had one customer that say, "Hey, Giancarlo, that's why I bought this house, because I like to walk my house
More steps.
Yeah, I like more steps, and then I was like, okay, but what about your Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Right.
And then they were like, okay, now we need to talk. And then what about your cinema? No, I don't have one. Would you like one? Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of different customers looking for that. So actually, I was telling you about that. Cabo is becoming one of the number ones, one of the top cities worldwide that has more smart houses per kind of per square meter per mile.
Yeah. Per area.
Yeah, per area.
What constitutes a smart house?
What constitutes a smart house? Okay, there are different systems, but if I have to bring them into a group, the first one will be everything related to lighting. Okay, since the lamps, the type of LED bulbs, because there is not it's different just to turn on a light and making dimmable, and if you are dimming it, maybe change the color from white to warm depending on what time of the day you are. Maybe if you are in the kitchen cooking, you want brighter light and more white. But what about if it's the same kitchen and you're having just a nice talk with someone in the night? Then you want warm light, but with the same bulbs, like not changing something. Right. Something is smart that change. So the first one is everything related to the lightings and natural lighting, shades also, wood shades, roller shades, everything related to window coverings. Okay.
Does it have to be automated to be a smart home?
That can be a challenge to answer, because it's not so white and black. Because the smart starts when you understand a space as an usable space. Okay, when you understand that this space is going to be lived by people and it's going to be used by people, then you understand how are they going to use it, and then you create or you design the space surrounding that. Then it starts some smart things, some smart characteristics inside of a space. So it doesn't need to be really automated. It just needs to like, for example, a dimmer. Just to be able to dim your light, that's smart. That's that's for thinking about the people that's going to be using the space. Okay.
Besides light, what else?
Light
is
audio and video, all the entertainment. That's kind of obviously that's what most of the people thinks about home automation, TVs and audio and speakers and stuff. The backyard. Something that is like a boom right now is the outdoor TVs. And the big LED screens, like I'm talking about 220 inches. Yeah. Okay. So those two kind of are the boom right now. And in the outside, actually, I love them. They just pull from the floor. So you arrive to your pool. You don't see anything. Yeah. And then you just tap a button or ask Alexa to turn on the TV. And then from the floor, it will come up your big 86 inches TV outdoor ready with a high brightness so that you can see your Sunday ticket or something.
Is that just like a screen?
No, it's an actual TV.
It's an actual TV.
An actual TV ready for outdoor. You can draw water and it can rain and it can snow and it can do anything.
You've installed those here?
A lot.
I haven't sold a house yet that has that.
Yeah.
You need to introduce me to the clients that have those houses. Come on, Giancarlo, let's go.
Let's keep talking.
So that's a common trend.
Yeah, kind of that's another niche, all the audio and video, all the entertainment. And the next one will be all the infrastructure, like the Wi-Fi and all the wires, cameras, access control, keypads, everything that is from the security perspective and from the data perspective. Those two kind of are together always in a house, talking about a house. And then all the sustainable systems, like the water, like the solar panels. But there is a new one that it's not only the solar panels, it's just the batteries. It's like the new paradigm. Instead of buying the solar panels that makes you make a decision right now here in Mexico to be plugged or unplugged, you know?
Tied in or tied into the grid or not.
Yeah, exactly. You can just add batteries in the middle, and there is a smart system that will understand your consumptions and will drive you always the cheapest energy.
Yeah.
So the batteries will take all those spikes of consumption of your AC and stuff, and it's incredible. You have like 40% less in your bill.
So that I could see that being smart.
That's smart.
Right.
100%. You don't need to automate that. It's by its own. It's just your utilities meter, batteries, your house.
Cool.
You know.
What about HVAC, air conditioning?
Yeah.
We don't need heating here.
Yeah, no, everything is about cooling, right? Yeah. There are a lot of different systems right now. The variable flow, VRV or VRF, which are the new ones that are kind of the more cost effective in the energy consumption and stuff. The challenge with all of this, in general, not only them, is to control them, right? Because you can install them and you can turn them on, but the challenge is to power them off when needed. When not needed, you know. So we have a system actually that coordinates. We have right now 85 villas, each one with its own system, with one interface that pulls all the information directly to the cloud and then sends you alarms when a filter change is needed or when the pressure in some pipe is wrong, so that you as an owner or the maintenance team or the HVAC provider can know, hey, something is going on, and maybe Nick is coming in 2 weeks. So right now I received the alert, and then I go, hey Nick, your system is alarmed. Can we access and repair it? Yeah, sure. Because you also received the alarm, you know?
Okay.
And then that's easy. And then when you arrive, you don't have to experience that, oh, come on, the AC is not working, you know? And you're really hot. So yeah, we at Smart Spaces, we don't install the HVAC, but we integrate them. We make them smart so that you can understand them.
What other things, what is the trends? What's coming on the horizon for smart homes that has you excited?
Okay, something that has me really excited. Well, the first one is these big LED screens. Right. Like one famous artist in Mexico just bought the fifth screen of this size. But imagine like 220 LED screen just stuck to the wall, so that you just enter and it's the wall, the one that turns on. How big is it? 220 inches in diagonal. That's so huge. It's really, really huge.
Right.
And he just bought the number 5. One per room.
One per room.
Yeah, it's like at the start when my colleague sold the first, he was like, yeah, whoa. He wasn't realizing, or he didn't know, no one of us didn't know what was coming after, you know. This artist was like, hey, I love to see this big size TV, you know, and I love to see me singing there. So.
Can you tell me who the artist is? No. It's a client of yours?
No, but it's...
Okay. Who's the manufacturer of these?
There are several, but the ones that we are working the most is Samsung. Okay, Samsung the wall. It's incredible. It's the best LED screen that we have, and right now it's amazing.
What does a 220-inch LED screen from Samsung cost you?
It's around like
$200,000. Yes. Holy smokes!
Yes.
Can't you just do like 2 100 screens and then do the technology and make it kind of merge into one?
Kind of like, for example, the 110 is $85,000.
That's $85,000. Yep. Jeez, I thought prices were coming down.
No. They
will, though, like, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, actually, the first screen this artist bought, he bought the 110 inches was around $150,000 in that moment. Right now it's $85,000.
So half.
Yeah. Half. Yes, it's going down, but we're still talking about something way different than a Costco TV, you know.
Right. So he spent $1 million, five of these TVs.
Just for the TV, no audio yet. The audio system was additional.
Wow. Yes. What's the largest home automation, smart home installation you've done?
Well, for homes?
Yeah.
Okay, for homes. I would say one of my customer, her name is Michelle, and she bought 2,100 in shades, just in motorized shades.
200,000.
200,000.
$200,000 US dollars in
just in shades plus all the AV, which was maybe 105 and 100 and a half.
Okay, 150,000.
150,000. 100,000. Yeah, 100,000. So in the total, maybe it was around 400,000.
And
just one home, 5 bedrooms, and
what do the shades do? How can you spend $200,000 on?
Because every single window was covered by a motorized shade. So this system will understand how you leave the space, and it will do some automatic routines for you.
Oh, really?
Like waking up with the really amazing sunrise. But when it goes to that point that it's annoying, then just the sheet will come down, so it doesn't glare directly in your face.
That's unreal.
Yeah, but I mean that's the one that I had it right now in my mind. But there are several houses like that.
And you said you have 85 villas with
right
the
now,
technology right now?
With the technology of HVAC. Okay. We have done, I don't know, hundreds of villas here in Cabo. There are a lot of villas that already has some smart thing inside of it. But actually, right now that I said smart thing, there is one thing that it's important that everyone knows. It's different to buy a smart switch in Amazon, because that's a do-it-yourself, rather than installing a full house. In essence, it's the same, and in essence, you could do the same, but trust me, you can't.
It's the same thing about buying and selling a house. In every industry, it's there's the DIY, do it yourself. But many times you make mistakes, and to fix the mistakes, you end up spending more than if you were to hire a professional that has done this hundreds, if not thousands of times, and is constantly adapting to the changing technology and the way the business is being done differently. And, if you buy, in my industry, if you buy and sell a house today, it's much different than 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
I know.
So I could see that probably even more so for you, because the technology is moving so fast.
Yes, actually, we need to be once a week in trainings, in webinars, in updates of different products. From one week to another, there is something brand new that you didn't know, and then you have to travel and update and train and stuff. So
Giancarlo, my team is telling me that I'm gonna go to another presentation. Actually,
okay.
You have to come back.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of things that we can talk about in terms of the automation, smart homes, to the water.
Yes.
I appreciate you coming by.
It was a pleasure, Nick, and yes, I will be really glad, because there is a lot of that we are doing in the social part that I know your followers need to know, that how we are pressing or pushing Cabo to be a better city, for all of us.
You can come back and we can talk more about the social
100%.
stuff.
I'll be glad for that.
Giancarlo, thank you.
Thanks to you, Nick.
Until the next one, bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nick Fong Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ronival Real Estate, and follow Nick on Instagram at NickFong_Ronival. Ready to find your Baja dream home? Check out the latest property listings at Ronival.com or FindMexicoHouses.com. Hasta luego.